Oh,
All right, so Zeenat, how about we start with a few words about you? Who you are, what you do, where you are.
okay, perfect. Well, hi everyone. I'm Zeenat. I'm based here in London, and I am a holistic health practitioner by profession. I'm also working alongside a direct sales company for the last 12 years, helping people again with their health and in their finances. And I'm also a mastermind leader for
Yeah.
Abundant Results Coaching. So I had been masterminding for the self-image for the last almost 2 years.
Mhm.
Now I'm moving on to mastermind for network marketing.
Brilliant.
Really looking forward to that. And I'm also known as Catwoman. You might see me come appearing as Catwoman online, and that's because I just love cats. And I have to mention this because my cat Yusuf would be upset otherwise, because he is my biggest fan and he is also my business partner.
Love it. I love it. Yes, and he's like strolling sometimes,
Yes.
listening to my voice. So Zeenat, tell us what was going on for you when we met, and what inspired you to invest in yourself.
Sure. Wow, Eva, it's I can't believe how the time has gone, right?
Yeah.
I came across your masterclass in 2020, and it was just before the masterclass appeared on my Facebook page. I was seriously making some prayers asking to God to help me with this inner critic that was going on for so many years. And it was really, really frustrating me. I was really getting fed up of my own mind, as you can say. And I made this prayer, and I felt this prayer was really kind of connecting to my beliefs in my faith as well from the scriptures of the Quran. There's one verse that really kept on coming over my mind for so many years, and I just did not know how to apply it. And that verse said, God will not change the condition of the people until they change their inner self.
Mhm.
And I'm like, how do I change my inner self? How do I stop this inner critic? And then that's it. Within about 2 weeks, I came across your post. And this was really quite amazing because I did not have an online presence.
Mhm.
I actually did not even know how to use the Facebook.
Mhm.
So I was just fiddling around and I came across your post and I was like, this sounds really, really interesting. Not knowing really what to expect. I just went by your story and I registered, and I have never regretted till today, Eva. It's probably one of the best decisions I had done in my life. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, totally. So
Yeah.
Zeenat, let's go right into your wins, multiple of
Yes.
them. So
Ah,
what are your biggest wins so far?
wow, Eva, you know what? I could literally spend the whole day sitting here and chatting about this over a coffee.
Mhm.
But if I was to really pick out a few, it would be that as soon as coming onto Thinking Onto Results program in September 2020, within a few weeks, my income started to double and treble, and which was really quite a big change because I didn't have to actually do much extra.
Mhm.
It was happening effortlessly and with ease. And I was really enjoying, I was doing my work with joy. I was getting busy, but in a good way, of course. And my income started to increase. And then in November 2020, my dad sadly passed on
Mhm.
in on 29th of November. And then 3 weeks later, my brother passed away. So these two very close deaths within such a short space of time in 3 weeks apart was very, very shocking and devastating. But because I had applied some of the tools that I had already learned in the beginning of the program, it completely helped me to go through with it with so much more ease than I think I ever would have done.
Mm.
Especially, the confidence accelerator, that was a game changer for me. And it played a huge part in what was happening around this time as well. But there were very difficult situations happening around the deaths of my dad and my brother. And those complicated situations could have literally worn me out completely. And I think beginning of 2021, January, I really believe that I would have ended up having a breakdown or something like that.
Mhm.
But the fact is, I didn't have a breakdown. Yes, I slowed down a bit to kind of gather, everything with what was happening, process everything, find out what I need to do next. But the fact that I got through that time was really remarkable. It was just something I always look back and I have to really pinch myself and I'm thinking, was that really me? Because straight after this bereavement period, I went into a court case.
Mhm.
And this court case, I was a victim of the crime. And it was so stressful when I received all the paperwork for it that I just thought, oh my God, what's happened, right?
Mhm.
But the thing was that when I spoke to my community members, I spoke to my success coach, I spoke to you, you gave me mentoring around this time, shared with me case studies of people who had even got through the court cases and come out winning, and hearing the other stories, that really, really empowered me, really gave me so much faith that, something, the Thinking to Results program is not just for income and business results, it's even for personal life challenges. So I was able to apply this.
Mhm.
Now, the outcome that I wanted was the best outcome would have been that it never even took place, right? That the fact that it could have got dissolved, and that's the best outcome that I really, really wanted. But I still prepared everything in my best way that I could to go out and win this. And, I was able to get help to prepare the statement and everything. And it was really, really quite how it all happened step by step. Like, when you say you don't really need to know how it happens. And that's exactly how did this happen. It was a bit by bit, it got revealed at what I needed to do next. And then you're not going to believe this, Eva. I turned up at court with my son because he drove me there to find out that it all got dissolved and there was no need to even be there because there was no court case. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that is just like a miracle because of lockdown situations, the email system and everything was all up in the air. So they didn't get to even inform me in time. And that's why I ended up going in the first place. Otherwise, I really didn't even need to be there. But it was the best result for me, Eva. And I just felt so relieved. It increased my believability even more in the program, in your mentorship, because you really, really cared about me and you really cared about what happened with me during this time, which was really, really amazing. And of course, the community members and my success coach as well. But just after this relief period time, I went into long COVID.
Mm.
Now, this was again out of the blue, right? There was no gap between these challenges either. So what had happened, lockdown had lifted up a bit, and then, people wanted to get back to me to help them with the treatments, as I'm a mobile therapist. So I ended up visiting a client who did not inform me that a family member had the COVID symptoms. And then within 36 hours of attending there, I was so sick in bed.
Mm.
Literally, I was bedridden. I couldn't eat or drink much. And within a week, the doctors were very worried about me. They wanted to put me in the hospital. Now, I didn't want to go in the hospital because I saw my dad, the way he passed away from the COVID. And so I took the decision to stay at home under the instructions of the doctor that I must be reporting to the COVID hub doctor every day through an app. And I was able to take all my readings at home because I've got everything here. And that is how they monitored me for the next month. Now, there was a point in this illness that my oxygen levels were dropping. They were going quite, down from literally from day before to this particular day, they were dropping, and I was very concerned. But I also remembered you mentoring me around this time, and you know, those voice messages going back and forth was, I believe, the thing that really kept me hanging in there, because there was that one day I believe I was actually going somewhere.
Mm.
I felt like I went into such a deep sleep and I was literally going somewhere, but all that kept on coming in my mind was your voice and what you had told me in those voice messages. And then I came back. That's how it felt. And then when I came back, I had to really think about it. I said to myself, was that a dream? Or, you know, but it really felt like I was going somewhere. Now, this illness took about probably 4 or 5 weeks in bed, until after that I was able to come out of bed. But I was so weak, the COVID had eaten up all my muscles. I had no strength at all. I had to use crutches in the house to even go to the bathroom. But I started picking up my appetite bit by bit. And of course, with the products that I help people with, I was able to take more of myself. And then within another kind of few weeks, I recovered completely, completely, to the point where I was doing all my normal duties in my home. I was back working, I was back out treating clients and working my business like I was before. And it was just so amazing at how quick it happened, because somebody who would have had the illness like I did, you would have expected them to have several months to recover.
Mm.
And that was the thing, that how these challenges came about one by one without any gaps. But I came through them and I'm alive today, and still have a business that is growing.
Yes.
This is the miracle of it. This
Mhm.
is the miracle part of it. And it always makes me go back and think in 2020, what if I never even came across Masterclass? What if I never met Eva or came onto the program? Where would I be today? And I can honestly tell you, hand over my heart, I don't think I'd be alive today,
Mm.
because those challenges were very, very extreme challenges, all of them. And the last one, of course, the COVID, I believe that if I didn't have the support from you, the team, I really don't know, because the mindset was everything in COVID as
That's
well, how
true.
to deal with it. Yes,
Yeah, yeah. And I mean,
absolutely.
especially like the three high emotional situations, one after another, most people go into deep, profound sadness,
Yeah,
depression, and then you catch such a serious illness. Yeah, things are not so good. But
yeah,
listen, everything was meant to be, and I'm so
yeah.
delighted that you listened to your intuition on that day,
Yes,
where
yes.
everything in the world was telling you you
Yeah.
can't do it, and you still did it. So I'm really delighted for you.
Oh,
Um,
and thank you as well, Eva. It was because of you, and I will say this, God guided me to you. Had He not guided me to you at that time in my life, and had I not made the decision at that time of my life, I did not know that all these challenges were going to come about.
yeah, that's true.
Nobody knows. I mean, if I'd known that these challenges were going to come about, I would have been full prepared, right? But I didn't know. And these challenges just fell out of the sky onto my lap all of a sudden. Yeah.
Yeah, true. Do you want to share with us, because you had quite some successes in your network marketing business after?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what's been going on lately, because you're like
Sure.
number one or something. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. Well, let me kind of tell you where I was
Yeah.
before thinking to results, because then you kind of be able to know a bit more better about my journey. So before thinking to results, I believe I believe I did not have any self-belief.
Yeah.
So I believe that I was actually running my business day to day without that belief in myself. So I would think that if something great happened, it was just luck. It was just a fluke, right? And I didn't believe in myself that I could make those results happen again and again. So when I came into thinking to results, within kind of, after I'd recovered from those challenges, and I was getting back up and running my business again, I wanted to earn promotional trips within the company. So I had earned one trip before thinking to results, and that took me 10 years to earn that one trip.
Wow.
And when it did happen, remember, I had no belief. So I just thought it was a luck. Oh, yeah, I'm going to Greece. It's just, pure luck. But then after coming into thinking to results and learning from you and the tools, I learned there was this one Q&A session that I was on. You taught something very specific. I went back home and I said, right, I'm going to put this into practice because I want to go on the next trip. And the next trip was in Croatia in 2022. So I went for it, and I'm telling you, I earned it. It was a 5-day fantastic trip, full expense trip. I took my daughter with me. We had such an amazing time. And this trip was very special because during lockdown, we had so much time apart from our daughter because she had joined police academy and she had to really move near her work to avoid the restrictions for the travel and all of that. So when I'd earned this trip, I thought, right, I'm taking Armani with me. And she had the most amazing time. And then 2023 came and there was a trip to Malta. And I'm like, okay, let's go for this one as well. Again, applying everything that you were teaching and thinking into results. And I earned the trip to Malta. So 2022, 2023, I was the only one in UK to earn the trip from the whole company. And so now this caught the attention of the corporate team. And they're thinking, what is Zeenat doing so different to the others? Because now she's earning all these trips, right? So they even asked me to present a workshop in October at our conference. It was a live UK conference that we had in Birmingham. And again in January. So I was able to teach teams on how to do this, and let's help them to get there as well. So this year's promotional trip is to Spain.
Ooh.
Ah, yeah, it's to Mallorca.
Oh,
So yes, so I'm heading in the right direction for it. I mean, I've started shopping for it. Okay, getting my mindset that I am really going. And because of my activity that I did in the first month, since our conference in January, there was a promotion that was going on. And if you did this, what the requirements were, then you get entered into a very special Facebook group, which is only for business builders like myself within the company, and they're going to have access to amazing stuff in there. And I was the first one to get in there. So they made a huge song and dance about it. So that was really amazing. But you know something, Eva, it's not only about my results. I've helped my team members earn trips.
Brilliant.
I've earned my team members over the last couple of years earn huge bonuses, right? I myself earn huge bonuses. I mean, when I talk about huge bonus, one was just 1.5K as a bonus on top of the earnings, right? So all of these things put together, and how I am building my business today is with believability, okay, self-love, self-worth, knowing that I am going to get to my goal step by step, what I'm doing, but I'm doing it with so much joy, Eva.
Yeah.
So much. We're having so much fun, to be honest, with the team. And this was not happening before. So these are some of the huge, huge changes in the business that I can tell you about. Yeah.
Now, Zeenat, the next question, I'm sure everybody will want to know.
Yes.
The moment when you made the decision, was there anything trying to take you away from that decision, and how did you still do it? Because your circumstances were quite challenging, but you still did the right thing. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, let me give you a little bit of a background to this, Eva, that when we went into lockdown, I had lost my car February 2020, just before lockdown.
Yeah.
I had a freak breakdown where actually my life was in danger had I been on a faster road, I was told. So I'm just glad that I was in one piece and I had to let the piece of metal be towed away, right? As to say it. So I lost my car. We had 3.5 huge losses of income in the lockdown.
Yes.
So my husband couldn't trade his business. He has a driving school. My son worked for British Airways and he got made redundant out of the 6,000. And my daughter had to move away near to her work because of her police academy. And half of my therapies couldn't be practiced because of some of the lockdown restrictions. So the only income I had left was my direct sales business.
Yeah.
Now, when Masterclass came about and I joined, every single day that I was on Masterclass, I was disappearing into a room in the house so that I could just focus and do the homework. And, because I'd gone into Masterclass not knowing really what to expect, as soon as day one happened, I was like, oh my God, I really am looking for day 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. And then when day 5 came, that was it. I knew that this was my prayer answered, that I had asked for. What is the thing that I need to change my inner self?
Mhm.
Right? And this was it. This was thinking into results. But now the question was, with this huge losses of income that we had, and I only had money for the deposit. And that was the huge bonus I had earned before,
Yeah.
thinking to results. What shall I do with it? Shall I buy a car? Shall I invest into thinking to results? Or shall I keep it for next month's rent or the food? Okay. And okay, I thought car can come again in the future. If I invest in thinking to results, I will earn the money back. That was what I understood. If you do the work, the best investment is in yourself. And I thought to myself, what if I did this and I just focus, do the work, and multiply my income, then I won't have to worry for next month's rent. That was the mindset I was thinking. Now, again, I didn't tell my husband about this because I knew that if I had consulted him, he would have given me an answer from his perception of life. And he had not been in masterclass to see it for himself. So he would not understand what I would be talking about. And I didn't want the no to come in at that time. And he would have said no, because remember, we had 3.5 huge losses of income. He would have said, you're crazy, right? So I had to keep it to myself, and of course you and God, okay? And I went in with that huge leap and I invested. Had I not invested at that time, like I told you earlier with my challenges, I don't think I'd be here. I don't think I'd be here sitting here telling my story. So that was the crunch of the time that I had to jump, do the jump, get off that fence, and do it now. Because if I don't do it now, when will I do it? And we all know, we all know that life is so short. Now, I found thinking into results in my 50s. I just turned 59 in December. But I know that there are people on this call who are in their 30s and in their 40s, some in 20s. You are finding this information out a lot earlier than I had. And I feel that now, the way I'm programmed with my mind, I wish I had that opportunity so many years ago, because I could have avoided a lot of errors and mistakes myself. Yeah. So that was a huge challenging time. And as I invested, within days, I started getting more work. And then, like I said, my income started to grow. And of course, I did tell my husband a few months later as he started seeing results happening. So yeah.
Beautiful. So Zeenat, let's complete it with a powerful call to action. there are
Yes.
so many people watching us, and I just want you guys to know that Zeenat is an ordinary person, just like I'm ordinary person, but we have extraordinary results. And it's just because we actually made that investment in ourselves. We followed our intuition and we disregarded circumstances. Whatever we're doing, what's right for us. And this is why we followed instructions, we got results, and you can do this too. So if you're watching this and maybe you are in a situation where you feel you'd love to do this with us, but something is stopping you, Zeenat, what would you say to help our participants do what is actually going to get them towards where they want to be?
Sure. This is such a great question, Eva. And I know that so many participants are in this position today, because I know I'm speaking to some of you myself. So my question to you is, what is your intuition telling you to do now? Because that is what I did. When I made that decision, it was my inner guidance, my intuition told me I had to do it now, that I had to be committed and do it now. So that is what you need to ask. Now, some of you may be thinking, yes, I've done some programs before, or I am already invested with other people. What shall I do? Maybe not now, maybe later. Again, I want you to think this. If your programs in the past did not bring any results yet, or significant enough results, then you need to rethink about everything again and what you've learned in this masterclass and on how to make your decision that you learned on day 4. Because what Eva's program in Thinking to Results and the mentorship program and the structure of the support that you're having, you cannot go wrong. If you do the work and everything is step by step and the mentoring, you will get results. So there's no question or doubts whether this is working or not working, whether you've done programs before or not, because if you do the work, you are going to get that investment back and much, much more. Because I had to do the same thing again when I invested into Inner Circle, because I was a graduate of Thinking Results and I wanted to go on another program higher, and I did the same thing again. I invested again without telling my husband, because remember, he comes from a different perception, right?
Yeah.
And I again manifested all the money back, okay, and more. So this is what you need to think about. And again, life is so short, guys. Life is so short. I didn't know I was going to expect all these life challenges in the way, and neither do you all. And I don't even know what's going to happen in the future in my life, but at least I know that I've got the tools to support myself during these challenges and still remain calm, remain empowered, and still be able to work my business, even though these challenges are there, which is a huge thing, because the last thing you want is that you want a personal challenge or a business challenge or a health challenge to come in the way of you taking action in your business and you're actually losing income. So I
Yeah.
want you to think about, what are you leaving on the table with this mentorship investment, and what are you going to lose if you don't invest now rather than later? Because life is so short. And I'll just quickly tell you that yesterday I was visiting a friend of mine in Belfast, who is also a colleague, and she was given a diagnosis for literally just days to live. And I'm just so grateful that I was able to get out there yesterday and spend some moments with her. But I know that my friend will never have regrets in her life because she was doing everything she loved right till the end. Can you believe it? This is so strange. She said, I've got a couple of numbers to give to you to contact them, because she came across them in the hospital. I mean, this is how this lady was. This
Right.
is exactly how this lady was, right?
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. And I came back from Belfast yesterday evening. Of course, I'm going to be exhausted because I didn't have much sleep because of an early flight the night before. And I had another sad news. Another colleague and colleague and a friend had a stroke out of the blue yesterday morning. So I was flying to Belfast. She was going to work and she had the stroke. and she had to have emergency brain surgery last night. Now, guys, I just want to tell you, these two ladies, they will never have regrets in their life because they were doing something. They knew their purpose in life, and they knew that they were doing things that they loved to do, and they were growing business and they were successful. I want you to think about yourself, and this is the reality. One day we are going to be on that bed, but we don't want any regrets that we didn't do things in our life which we really wanted to do. And I know some of you really want to invest in the program and in the mentorship, but there is something stopping you, and you need to now really think, get back to the success advisor, let them help you, because we are here to help you to get the best solution for you for your future goals. And that's all I can say is life is very short. Don't let another 6 months, another year go by, because you don't know what challenges you might have this year, or you don't know what health challenge you might have, or another member of your family might have, or somebody that you know. But I was able to go through these challenges just this last week with my two friends and still work and still feel empowered and calm and help others. And this is the beauty of what the mentorship can do for you, to help you to reach your C-type goal by the end of this year, or whenever you've made the date for it. So I'm just really wishing you best and just telling you, do the jump, do whatever it can take to get on board, because this is going to life change you, not only for yourself, but for your family members, whether you have children maybe, or your husband, your spouse, your friends. The rippling effect of this program, it goes out completely. And that is what I would say as my ending to today.
Yeah. Well, listen, guys, I don't think I need to say anything else. Zeenat has inspired you so much. If you feel that we can help you fulfill your dreams, do not let another month go by. Just click that link and join us. And if you need to work out anything, jump on the call with Success Advisor and we will support you. We are looking forward to seeing you on the other side. And thank you, Zeenat, so much for being here and supporting us.
Thank you for inviting me, Eva.
Thank you.